home. If a country controls his money system, he also controls the fate of the country. This word is attributed to Nathan Mayer Rothschild. Although reality is controversial, the idea that we tell is undisputable. Because when you look at the time built in the modern world, you'll see that those who manage the flow of money have a much beyond politics. Rothschild family is one of the most striking examples of this fact. They were from a household. But there were no crowns. There were no branches. Yet they did not witness the rise and drop of empires. Most often they were involved in these processes. The story of Rothschild starts at the derisic Judengasse street, not in the magnificent palaces. Born in 1744, Mayer Amschel Rothschild learned from children's age, which means the exclusion and poverty. Judengasse, not only a neighborhood, but also a limit. It was surrounded by walls. The Jews can exit this area only in certain hours, greatly excluded from social life. Coffee shops, parks, trade dolphins were closed to them. Life was a constant intent, but Mayer Amschel's difference was that these limits are permanent. The fate has changed completely when he lost his family at a young age. When waiting to be a man, he found himself as a spear in a banking house. Here we learned that the money is not only metal or paper. Money meant trust. Reputation meant. Information meant. It wasn't a coincidence that ancient Rome was going to deal with rare coins from Byzantine. Because these coins were silent witnesses of the imperials that were once strong. Mayer Amschel learned to read the financial memory of history. Over time, Hesse Prince Wilhelm attracted attention. Saraya was a milestone in his life as a financial consultant. This task was not only giving money to him, the invisible ties between politics and finance were also taught. The steps we jump here have been the basis of the future strategy of the Rothschild family. The largest genius of Mayer Amschel lies in collecting wealth in one place. He sent his sons to the 5 largest centers in Europe: Frankfurt, London, Paris, Vienna, and Naples. This was not just an expansion plan. This was the distribution of the risk. The communication and finance network established between 5 cities was far beyond the period. The limits were not blocked for them. The battles were not a disaster, the advantage of knowledge. Rothschild during the French Revolution and Napoleon Wars played the most complex game of history. They did not hold the sides, they financed the sides. It was not a moral preference. This was a financial reality. No matter who is the winner of the war, lenders always remain on the table. The role of Nathan Rothschild in London reached the peak in this period. The story of Table after the Battle of Waterloo was legend over time. However, the fact is that Nathan had access to information before everyone. Because news was his job. Victory or defeat was a signal for markets. And he knew the signals well from anyone to read. This shows the power of Rothschild: not money, information. Not gold, timing. With time, the family only turned out to be a banker. Railways, mines, industrial companies, insurance systems. There were almost every major project in the process of the European industrialization. But this visibility also brought the response. When the nations rise, wealth exceeding the limits began to be seen as a threat. Rothschild has become a cynic in the modern world. Economic crises, inequalities and social unrests were destroyed on a single family, not complex systems. The century paid the price of this voltage heavily. Branches closed. He handed to the fortunes. Family members were arrested, forced to shoot. In Paris, banks were nationalized. Once the power in the heart of Europe, parts were distributed. But the story did not come here. Because Rothschild was a family that knows that fortune can change the format but not completely destroyed. Liquid assets are standing with international investments and corporate structure. Today Rothschild still lives. Maybe it's not visible until the old. But the effect is in the case of processing the genes of modern finance system. This story reminds us that the history does not only write kings and generals. Sometimes account notebooks are more persistent than the army. And sometimes the first step in Judengasse of a child changes the fate of continents. This is not a praise story. This is a warning. Money is not only the winners, but the system is powered in the hands of those who understand. If you read history, see today more clearly. If you are not reading, you just fold the results.